my name is Alexa Pankoff, and today I will be talking about these little critters, and I have my audience ready for you today. There you go. So yeah, today I really wanted to be talking to you guys about the history of cats and where they came from, and more so in ancient times and ancient Egypt. So that is my topic for today, and I actually have 3 of these guys. That is really what inspired my topic today. I'm a big cat fan and cat lover, so I really wanted to find out more about their origin and where they came from. So I wanted to start out my speech by talking about a study that was conducted by Elizabeth Stilo, and she basically found out that cats' fur coats and fur patterns can determine their level of aggressiveness and their levels of calmness. So she found out that tabby cats, tortoiseshell cats, white cats, and black cats all have a very calm, friendly demeanor, and then the black and white tuxedo cat is a little bit more aggressive. And so I actually do agree with this, because I have both a tabby cat, a black cat, and a black and white tuxedo cat, which is said to be more aggressive. And shortly before this, he attacked me, so I think it's true. And he seems to be a little bit more mean than my other 2, so I just thought that was a little bit of a fun piece of information. So if you have a tabby cat or a black cat or a black and white tuxedo like I do, maybe you can see the same patterns. And so yeah, and then also I wanted to ask, do you guys know that the first not domesticated cats, but house cat type creatures were found around the Neolithic Revolution era, which was about 12,000 years ago. And then Ottoni, so even further back, he found that cats came from they evolved from a cat called the Felis sylvestris ibica, which was a wild cat. And so there were basically the Felis sylvestris ibica, there were different forms of variations of them pretty much spread out across the world. So there were 5 different places that he found the prehistoric cat bones from. And he so they basically were the same thing, but they were different, and they were different because of the different environments that they were found in. So if they were in Asia versus Africa versus Europe versus Egypt, they were all just different because of the different environments that they had to adapt to and grow and evolve from. So they were primarily found in the Fertile Crescent near the Mediterranean, which is where we'll mainly be focusing because that's pretty close to Egypt. And so about 2,000 years after the Neolithic Revolution so 10,000 years ago, cats were first domesticated by farmers, and they were used to kill vermin and protect their farmers from harm. So cats have always really been protective of their humans, and I think they did it because it's in their DNA to kill little animals and rodents, but I think they did it also because they cared, because back then, mice and rodents had different diseases that were deadly to humans, and cats did protect them from that. So, also, fun fact, cats were found on every single continent besides Antarctica, so cats are pretty much native to the whole world, and you can find them wherever you go. Even today, cats are found everywhere. So, next, I wanted to talk about the importance of cats in Egypt, which was about 3100 BC, so pretty much still a very long time ago. Cats were revered too as gods. They were very, very important and high up in Egyptian society. They were sacred creatures, and they were viewed as gods, so they pretty much were, the humans would center their worship around cats. And if you were to walk around an ancient Egyptian town, you would see murals and paintings of cats. You could see the Sphinx sculptures, and yeah, cats were just very, very, very important in ancient Egyptian society. They were also thought to have brought good luck to their owners, and so if you were to go over to your friend's house in ancient Egypt and you saw a cat, you were pretty much knew that the house was a warm and pleasant place. There were really no superstitions around them. There was a very positive energy about cats. Cats were just viewed as gods, so they were a protecting level of comfort for the different societies and households in ancient Egypt. And then they were also viewed as demigods. There was a very popular goddess named Bast, that is spelled B-A-S-T, that the ancient Egyptians would worship, and she was known for basically morphing into a cat from her human form. And then there was a pretty much, I don't know if you guys have seen this image before, but it's one of the most popular ancient Egyptian images, where there's a body of a human and a cat head. that is Bast. So she was a very important and the most popular cat goddess of back then. And then also the ancient Egyptian temples that the societies would go to worship in, they had cats roaming freely around the temples. And I like to think of that as my house because I have 3 cats roaming around my little temple. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool that when you went to worship the places, I wish if you would go to church nowadays, there'd be cats roaming around. I wish that stuck. And also, when you killed a cat, so if you were to go kill a cat for whatever reason, that was a big Egyptian no-no. It still is, but it was basically worse than killing a human being because cats were viewed as gods, so you were basically killing a god. So killing a cat was a high crime in ancient Egyptian society, and you would be punished with death. So you kill a cat, you will lose your life as well, and they probably wish your soul would go to hell. And proper burials, so cats would have proper burials when they died. When they died, it was a big mourning process for the families, for the neighbors. Pretty much everybody mourned the death of a cat like it was the death of a family member. So they would take weeks at a time just to mourn and grieve their cats that had died. And then they would also be, if you were higher up in society, so if you were like Cleopatra and you died and you had your cat, they would be buried along with you and mummified, and they would be adorned with oils and all the sacred elements that they would put on the mummified bodies. So it was a very big deal to be a cat and to die. And so yeah, that is my take on the history of the house cat. I actually found all this information very, very interesting because I'm very interested in cats and I wanted to know more. And I think in different cultures, even today, like in Greece, I know that the stray cats are treated pretty much like they're your own, so they're very friendly to visitors. And I wish it was more like that in America. I wish the stray cats were treated friendly, or were treated with kindness from humans. I have a new cat that I just got a couple weeks ago. We brought her home because she was a stray and she was found terrified and dirty inside of a car engine. And I just know in ancient Egypt that would just not be okay, and I wish it wasn't okay today, but at least I have a new member of my family. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something and I hope you like cats. Also, another thing is I think if you guys don't like cats, I think you need to give them a chance because I know dogs are definitely preferred. I love dogs too, so I'm not biased against them, but I used to say that I hated cats and I got a cat and now I have 3, so I'm just adding to the collection. Who knows how many more I'm going to get in the future, but yeah, thank you for listening and I hope you have a good night. And here is my audience.